Hi, I'm Herin Kaputkin. I'm the costume designer for Little Women and here at Geva in Rochester. And it's a really charming adventure and story about these 4 women's lives, and you should come see it. I think what was really important for me as a whole with these 4 sisters is that I wanted them to feel like real people and not like historical figures that we aren't very connected with. So I wanted to choose fabrics that were soft and that we in the costume shop could do things to make them soft and relatable in a lot of ways instead of a stiff photograph. So for Meg, I wanted us to know that she is cheerful and very feminine. And for Jo, I wanted it to sort of feel a little opposite. I wanted Jo's clothes to feel like they were, I wanted the audience to know that Jo is sort of strong and doesn't pay attention to sort of the norms of what women's wear was. So she has things that look kind of more like menswear suits. So I wanted the audience to know that she doesn't need to be traditional, that she's gonna fight and go her own way. Beth is often sort of portrayed as being extra fragile, but in this production, I want the audience to know that she plays a really important part in Jo's, well, all of the sisters, but especially Jo's life, and that she ends up in sort of a fragile state, but doesn't start that way. And so I wanted the audience to know that her presence is really there throughout the whole play with this bold color. And Amy is so playful and sort of mischievous, and she also, I want the audience to go on the journey of her growing up sort of in the most drastic way. She starts the youngest, obviously she's still the youngest by the end of the play, but she's sort of gone from a little girl to a budding artist in France. And so her clothes really go from little girl, sort of like we can relate to that in how dolls were dressed, to being like a sophisticated put together ensemble. With this project, we sort of brought all of our inspiration to the table. We all looked at it together and we kind of realized that we could all be in the same world and have the same inspirations. And then we sort of went off to our own tables, all different states, and we would come back and say, okay, here's the direction I'm going. And I would say to the scenic designers, we have this big costume change. Like, where do you think it's going to go? Do you think it can happen somewhere hidden on stage? And they would say, oh yes, like we have this armoire that's going to be the perfect place for that to happen. And so we would constantly just check in and share imagery and share colors and talk texting and sending pictures and talking through Rachel. But honestly, this is a story that everyone has in their lives, and so I think we also came to it kind of having our own sort of young impressions of what the story was, which I think made it really easy to buy into creating this world for the audience to see. Thank you so much for talking about this play. I think it's just a really lovely thing to see. I really had a good time bringing it to life. You should come see it at the Geva. Starts February 25th and runs through March 29th.